Very good to have you.
Thank you
so much for joining us and talking to us. It'd be really cool. I know you a little bit, but our viewers don't. So it'd be really good if you could share with us a little bit more about when you got started with this whole industry.
With this whole industry, well, basically I started when I was a young guy, washing dishes in the kitchen. Started all the way down at the bottom, at the front of the ladder. Then I started moving to the warm and cold side of the kitchen, which I enjoyed. But there was one day that I had to fill in for another colleague, which was standing in service, and I actually liked that really, really much.
So you went from the kitchen to service?
Yeah. Then I made a quick change to 5-star hotels for a period of 5 years, and this is how I got in contact with bartending and mixology. So, which I enjoyed really, really much. Then I started working for the fabulous Shaker Boys.
Famous
company. After that, I opened up my own bar on the island of Crete in Greece for a period of 9 months, and then I went back to Amsterdam and I started working for an international company as a global brand ambassador, where I trained bartenders in more than 45 countries around the world.
So that made you travel then?
I traveled a lot, seen a lot of different venues, boats, hotels, bar restaurants, lunchrooms. So,
was this the first time that you got in touch with the yachting industry, or was that the cruise line industry? Which industry did you get involved with?
My first maritime experience was on a huge cruise vessels in Scandinavia with like 400 or 500 staff members doing presentations. And then it narrowed down to private cocktail making on yachts for owners and guests, to eventually educating the staff of the luxury yachts as well. And now I'm educating people with the same passion, hopefully, that I have.
Right. Okay. So when you would compare the cruise line industry now and then I guess the yachting industry, which you have experienced both. But is there a difference?
There's a big difference. The attention to detail, if we talk about luxury yachts, is over the top. It's international. It's 10 stars, not 5 stars. It's 10 stars. So people have to pay attention to what they're doing, because the owners and the guests, they demand more service, more quality, and more excellence in execution.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so if you would compare, as you've been in both industries, if you would compare the cruise industry to the yacht industry, what would you say is the difference?
The people that work on the luxury yachts, what I feel is they need more intensive training compared to cruise ships.
But at the same time, I think you would agree with me, people on the yachts, they actually, compared to the cruise lines. On cruise lines, you are a waiter or you're a housekeeper, and that's all you're going to do, which means you're going to get really good at that, right? And in the yachting industry, they kind of have to be like a master of all trades. So therefore, I assume, I'm not going to speak for you, is that the yachties that actually get trained by you guys and by yourself are really enjoying that. I mean, this is like new to them. It's inspirational, right?
True. It's a lot of, the motivation is huge. I mean, the team that you see in the luxury yachts, they're close together, working as a group. They're really motivated, but also when we do the education on the boats, people, it's an eye-opener. They love to learn. It's a really inspirational training session. So specific training on these different modules, again, they love it, but it's really necessary.
All right. So I was wondering, you obviously train on board a lot, on location. And you train here in this fantastic, location that you have on land. What would you say is the difference in a way? Like, could you share a little bit about that?
So actually, what the crew members do not know, what I see most of the time is the limited working space, obviously, that you have on a luxury yacht, and the tools you have available. You can do way much more than the drinks that they're already making. Garnishes, presentation, the way how they serve it on the table. There's limitless opportunities, and this is the big wow factor. If we go there with the training people,
that's super cool. I mean, we hear this all the time, obviously, from the crew once you've been there, is that they just couldn't imagine all the little things and all the little details that you actually brought to them. They thought they were just going to learn a little bit about history, a little bit about the technique, and what they got was so much more than they had assumed.
Absolutely. There was not one ship who...